Hello, hello. Welcome back to Hey Boo Women's Network, where we feature our Hey Boo sisters. This is the special interview that I get to do one on one with our Hey Boo sisters. If we have not connected yet, my name is Mary Grace Iniguez. I am the founder and owner of Hey Boo. And without further ado, I want to bring on Karen because we're just going to go right into there. She has a great journey to share and also some valuable information. So I don't want to, you know how I can do. I can literally go on this whole tangent. So I'm like, we're just going to go there, Karen. So,
Yes.
Karen Retardo, you are located in Orange County. Tell us more about yourself. Who's Karen first before we hop into your business?
Who's Karen first? Well, like a first generation immigrant, I migrated here when before I turned 21, like in 2021, and a nurse by profession and also a coach. So balancing both. But who am I? Like really someone who's kind, empathetic, compassionate, and I think it's such that's why I love coaching, Mary Grace, because it just brings out all of those qualities that's naturally me.
Yeah, I love that. And, when I first met you, you can already feel that, like feel the compassion and just the warmth of your presence. So I'm sure people can hear it and feel it virtually as well. So let's talk more about, because I know as a profession you are RN. Is that correct? Make sure I don't butcher
Yes,
that part.
yes, yes.
Okay.
You are correct.
And you also own your business. So tell me more about on the business side, what your business is and why you got started there.
Well, like the name of my business is Heart Centered Holistic Coaching. Heart Centered
The name.
Holistic
Love,
Coaching.
love, love the name.
Because like we're a whole person, Mary Grace, and people try to compartmentalize different parts of their life. But like as a human being, we're very multidimensional and even just like even personal or professional, people try to separate, but you can't really separate both because like if there's
No.
something that's going on in your personal life, it's gonna leak and affect your professional life. And the way I got started, I'm an OG in like personal growth development. I started my
I love
personal
the OGs. Lots of wisdom.
so I started my journey in 1997. I was fairly new here. Like, I migrated here in the US in 94. So just three years. And my sister came here to visit for vacation. And there was something different about her. And I'm like, ooh, what do you have? And my sister in the Philippines, she's like, yeah, she took this personal development seminar. And she's been different instead of in our Filipino culture, like when you turn 18, we have the debut, they call. And she's like, no, I don't want a party, but I want to take a personal growth seminar. That's what she told my parents. So she took that personal growth seminar and she said, like, Karen, I think there's one, they have one here in the US. So like you could check it out. I'm like, okay, I'll check it out because I just don't want you having this good juju around you and not have it. So she went back home and I took another class. Like it was an insurance class. Someone was enrolling me to be an insurance agent at
Totally
that time.
something else. I love when we do that.
Someone from the same insurance class recommended the same seminar.
Oh my,
And I'm like, okay, God, get it in a whisper. So I did, and that changed, my life, Mary Grace. And very new immigrant here and I didn't know that they once you take a class they're gonna upsell you. So the upsell was a 90-day program where we had a coach and we set physical, emotional, mental, spiritual goals, and we also did a service project. And after 90 days I got all of my goals and I'm like, oh, there's gotta be a profession doing this. So back then it was dial up. AOL was the name. Was I'm dating
yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
And I did find school. It was called Coach University, and they're still around. But it was a bumpy journey because I'm like nursing, coaching, and most of the classes were teleconference at that
On the
time
phone. Oh my
on the
gosh.
phone, and mostly evenings because it was they mostly professionals trying to get into coaching. And sometimes I would work 3 to 11 or 11 to 7, and I couldn't make the classes, so I had to let it
Wow.
go.
Oh my gosh. I haven't heard of anyone taking any type of seminar or convention or whatever via telephone. So when you say OG, you literally our OG. When it comes to me, it's a wealth of wisdom and wealth of expertise and knowledge. And I want to touch a little bit of this area, right? Because it does go together with the people you serve, immigrants, people, fellow Filipinas and Filipinos
Yeah.
who are in the nursing field. So I do want to touch on this a little bit. So you, as a fellow Filipina, okay, first of all, I'm here smiling because kudos and all the praise to you for not only, first of all, to your sister, right, at a very young age, knowing and identifying that's what she wanted. And then, second of all, for you, like, because especially in our culture and multiple cultures, is that's not something we do. Like, that's not something we dip our toe in when it comes to personal development, when it comes to talking about mind, mental, all the things, personal life, whatever. So tell me, like, why would you do, like, what brought into you that, aside from seeing your sister and the transformation, because I don't want to assume, but I'm sure you had some thoughts too of like, well, I don't know if I should be doing this. So, like, share more about that.
Well, coming here, Mary Grace, because, I didn't work as a nurse in the Philippines, but when I came here, I saw coworkers and I was telling my dad, like, oh, nurses, like, we give so much, but we don't rejuvenate or take care of ourselves. And my dad said, like, oh, I think that's a good idea, like, rejuvenate the nurses. And it started with that. And in coaching, always the foundation. Like, you need to have a strong personal foundation. You need to know your values, you need to know your strengths, you need to do self-care. So at an early age, in my early 20s, Mary Grace, like, I was focusing on self-care because we don't fill up our cups as caregivers, healthcare providers. So yeah, so I saw that need. I'm like, oh, it's so
Mm.
true.
Was
Yeah.
there a shift maybe in your life that you felt like, you know what, I need this, I want to go into this aside from serving other people?
Well, because even massage back in the late 90s and early 2000s, Marys, it was such a foreign thing
Yeah.
for someone to get a
Yeah.
massage. And now it's so, like, mainstream.
Yeah.
So like, then there was this women's leadership that I went to, and there was one day of just pampering. And I'm like, my goodness, this is so different. And from then on, yeah, yep. And in my coaching journey, they said if we don't fill up our needs, we're always gonna be out there looking for someone to fill that need. So I had to like make big asks because, like, for me, touch and expressions of love is important. So part of my coach training was like to ask my friends, I need you to mail me a letter just telling me how much you appreciate me. My
Yeah.
early
Wow.
and then getting massages was part of it. So yeah.
Yeah, because I can identify with that. In the past, the past me is you feel kind of bad doing it, especially if you have a family, like you have kids and then you have a husband and you have responsibilities. I think as women in general, it doesn't matter culture, whatnot, is we tend to say, because I used to do this, I'd be like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't need that. I'd rather buy this or give to the family or eat dinner or whatever, which I think there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's something wrong with that, but I think having a balance of the way you serve your family, your spouse, your kids, your mother, whoever you would serve and give that kind of love to, is to be able to balance and give that love to yourself. That's how I was able to really embrace that because my whole journey of just wanting to make sure that my husband was taken care of, my son was taken care of, and you kind of feel bad like doing those kind of things. And I remember my husband would be like, "No, get your nails done. Go get your nails done." And even now, like sometimes I'll push it because I'm waiting for an event. You know how women do. We're like, "Oh, but I have an event in 2 weeks and I don't want to be outgrown." But my husband's like, "No, no, no, go get it done. Go get it done. Come on, let's go." And my husband's really sweet about like reminding me. But I think as women, we tend to forget that. We tend
Yeah.
to pour back into our cup more than just getting our nails done.
Yes. And I think another layer that, like, as an immigrant, Mary Grace, because we provide for our family back home. So when thinking of getting a massage, I'm like, I wag na sayang, because like that's extra money that I could send back home. But at the same time, like, we need to take care of ourselves in order to be the best self, whether that be sleep
Yes. Yeah.
or self-care massages, like it's those things. And
Yeah. If you're constantly on edge or constantly upset for no reason, like walking into the door, you're already upset. So tell me more about your coaching program. Like, who do you serve and what is the program about?
well, like I love serving immigrants, as you say. I think because it's just the lived experience, but at the same time, I don't want others to feel like it's just so exclusive Filipinos. I'm like, no, like if you resonate with the struggles of setting boundaries, not being assertive, not being confident. And the thing with confidence, Mary Grace, like I think our society and culture rewards extroverted, loud, confidence. But confidence can be that quiet, grounded, authentic confidence. So like those are the women that I help. Like they're quietly ambitious, like they want something, but at the same time, like their imposter syndrome, their self-doubt kicks in, and then they start questioning, like, what makes me credible to be even talking about anything that they're passionate about. And there's mine is more customized one-on-one coaching because one of my anti-values is imposing. I'm like, I don't want to impose. And like, I see a lot of coaches like, oh, my signature program, but
Mm,
how will I know if it's gonna work for you? Like, I'm created differently. Like, I'm gonna share my framework. So I have the brave framework, with which I call bold, resilient, assertive, visible, and empowered. So whatever that means to you. So like it's called the brave framework, but at the same time, like really customized and tailored to your need. But the foundation though, like I foundation stuff, no matter what, is I do a values and anti-values clarity method. And then I'm also a Gallup CliftonStrengths coach. So I want to know what your strengths are. Because like we need to hone your zone of genius. Because like once that's rooted and grounded, you won't be swayed. Because like you have your compass.
So I know when we talked briefly too that one of the niches are nurses, like Filipinas in the that's not her only niche, but one of the ones I want to bring up is the niche of nurses. So where do you feel like with that sector, the challenges are when it comes to, because you mentioned confidence and being assertive, like what is going on in the industry, and where do you feel like they need that, like that's what they are not lacking but what they're missing, like those are the areas they need to work on.
Yes, because as you see, like, there's 180,000 to 200,000 of Filipino nurses in the US, but very rare do we see someone in leadership. And I know it's all the talk too, because, like, who am I? Like,
Yeah.
ooh, they might judge my accent and all those
Yeah.
stuff, but it doesn't matter. And for me, like, leadership doesn't have to be a title, because you could
Hmm.
be a staff nurse, but you have that leadership quality. So it's really about personal or self leadership.
So you saw that there weren't a lot of them moving up in leadership, and that's where you found that, oh, it's because they're having challenges with being confident or speaking up with assertiveness, not just being loud and.
Yes, and it doesn't matter, like, they may not want to climb the ladder, the nursing leadership ladder, but like what I'm saying, Mary Grace, like most people know what they don't want, but they're not in touch with what they want.
They
So
want.
ultimately, I just want someone to get in touch with their heartfelt dreams, whatever that may be, because it would be such a tragedy to be on your deathbed and still, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I'm like, if they had a dream, whatever that may be, whether it's starting a passion project or even be a better mom, wife, or something,
Yeah.
but like to really get in touch with their dreams, because I don't want their dreams to die inside of them.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, because like you said, it doesn't always have to be a passion project or a business. It could be like, my dream is to travel every quarter to a new place and be able to do that and still do my 9 to 5 because I love being a nurse or whatever I'm doing, right? Yeah. Yeah.
And
Oh,
you
I love.
mentioned that too. I have a client who's a nurse and she loves to travel. So she works 100 days a year as a nurse. So she works because she wants to, not because she
Yeah.
has to. So, yeah.
Yes,
And she's
because
still
she
working as
wants
a
to.
nurse. But
Yes. I love that reframe and that that way of saying, because I say it all the time with me, is I used to say, oh my gosh, I have to do this. And I'm like, no, I get to do this. Like, I get to wake up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym so that the rest of the day is free for me to work on my business, right? I get to show up and do these things. I think it's a beautiful reframe. And I've learned in the last year to 2 years that our words are very powerful, especially the words coming out of our mouths, not just to other people, but to ourselves.
Yes. And I don't know if you know what abracadabra means. Do you know what
No.
abracadabra means?
Well, I know
I
like abracadabra, like, like that.
no, but it literally means, I don't know if it's Hebrew, but I create as I speak. Is the Hebrew meaning. So we do abracadabra, and most
I
people don't
create
know
as
what
I speak.
abracadabra means, but like, yeah, I create as I speak.
Oh, that is awesome. I'm going to use that now. I love it. People are probably like, Mary Grace, come on, you didn't know that. But I'm like, no, I didn't. So, Karen, what has your entrepreneurial journey look like so far?
It has its ups and downs, Mary Grace, but one thing that really anchors me is the why. And like I said, if I could just help even just one person to get in touch with their dreams and not be on their deathbed with their dreams still inside of them, that's so worth it. And I just enjoy having those one-on-one conversations with people. And I might do a group coaching, but it's really gonna be small because like one of my strength is a relator. And as with someone with a relator strength, like she enjoys, someone who enjoys like those intimate one-on-one relationships. But like the journey's been really up and down, not always great. Like, some days I'm grateful that my nursing is my investor
Mhm.
to my business. Because like some days client creation, finding clients, just having consistent clients, sometimes like not a lot, and being honest about that and balancing both nursing and building an entrepreneurial business, it's sometimes not easy. It tests me, but at the same time, just keep going, baby steps, and keep anchoring as to why I'm doing this. Because it's easy to throw in the towel and just say like, why am I doing this? Like my nursing job is great, and I'm grateful because I don't hate my nursing job. I love my bosses. I love my work. So just having the best of both worlds,
Yeah.
and yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like you're living the best of both worlds, like being able to serve the community through your nursing, like serving patients. And then on the other end, now serving your colleagues or anyone in the industry. Yeah, that's beautiful. So you talked about your why, but what's your why that keeps you going on the tough days? Like, what's that one thing you see?
I will say my mission because I don't want to be on my deathbed with my dream still inside of me, Mary Grace. And I'm like, yep. And sometimes I would just have to connect with someone just to say hello, not even to promote my business. And then once that conversation starts, and then we start, eventually it goes to like asking them like, oh, what's going on, their dreams, and then it rekindles that, Mary Grace, but I'm not motivated by money, and grateful, like, with like the financial stability that I have. But yeah, that's what keeps me grounded. Because I love Irma Bombeck's quote that when I stand before God, I hope I could say that I used everything that you gave me. So I want to be able to say that.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
beautiful. I was just having a conversation with a couple of ladies, and we all shared the same mindset in regards to before the business used to be about, it's always been about impact. I think for everybody, they have some kind of mission and impact they're making. But also, part of it was getting on the stages, making the money, being able to provide for the family, all that long list of things, right? But what we all identified in the last year is that as long as we're serving God's purpose for us and whatever his vision is for us, I'm happy. So the money that is even in our accounts, in our hands, wherever, that's not our money. That's God, universe, whatever you believe in. It doesn't even have to be in God, is provided to us to make an impact, to do what we were placed here to do. And I think if we all reframe in that way, it can cancel hustle culture. It'll be more of alignment culture, in alignment to moving forward every day in purpose. Yeah.
Yes.
Versus like, I just need to make the next dollar. I need to do this and I need to do that and I need to do this. It's different. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, oh, you're realizing it's not me who did that. It's because the tools and the resources that were provided and the gift that I may have of being able to speak out or being able to build community, that was because it was my purpose, and your purpose is to serve your communities too. So it's different when you reframe
No,
your mindset.
and and I think it comes, I don't know if it comes with age too, Mary Grace, because I'm not gonna lie, like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
when in my
Yes.
20s, 30s, it was
Hmm.
all material
Yeah.
stuff, accumulate, accumulate,
Yeah.
accumulate. But like now I'm in my face, I'm like, I won't really be able to take those stuff in my graveyard, but like the memories, the relationships, like experiences, so that I can take inside me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even when you said, like, because I've been doing my 10,000 steps every day, and when I walk around nature, I look at the trees and the leaves. I'm like, see, they're not even doing anything, and God takes care of them.
Yes. Sometimes I don't even water them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I totally feel you on that. Totally. Um, do you have any advice before we wrap it up with your contact information for any other women who's wanting to build their dreams? This is a perfect question for you.
I think for me, it's really building the muscle of self trust because it's so easy, especially when we scroll social media, like the shiny object, and it's so easy to be enrolled or captured into like what they're doing, but we really need to check in who we are. And I love human design, I'm a generator. So for me, like, oh, whatever sparks me. So like, yeah, if there's anything, like, it's really the self-trust and reach my destination with my own compass, not the compass of others.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, Karen, it was so nice speaking to you. It's a great honor to have you as a member here in OC, but also across the Hey Boo community. For anyone who hasn't connected with you or anyone in general who wants to get connected with you, what is the contact information?
Well, for me, they could email me if you want to email me. I check my emails personally, so it's at hello@karenretardo.com. Or if you want to connect via social media, like my Instagram, Karen Retardo, and LinkedIn, same, Karen Retardo. And me and my sisters, we say like our last name, it's our marketing tool because they will never forget. They'll always,
And yes, nobody wants to say it incorrectly. So I asked her the
yes,
question before, even though I knew how to read it. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't saying it right.
thanks
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
asking.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Karen, again, for spending time with me and sharing more information about you. For everyone who wants to get connected with Karen, I'm going to make sure I drop all the information, her contact information, her social media outlets in the description. If you are a Hey Boo sister and you haven't done your interview, please reach out to us. All that contact information is also in the description. All right, Karen, until next time, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thanks.